Let's talk supplements. Today we're going to be talking about all the different supplements I take, if I've changed anything during my prep, what supplements I am taking, why I'm taking them, and if I'd recommend them to you. So we'll go over the benefits, the price per serving, and the recommended dosage. This is my second time doing this video. The first one lasted for like over 30 minutes because I got a little bit too scientific, I think, and got into the academia a little bit too much. So depending on how this video goes and the response from it, I'm more than happy, and I'm quite probably going to, because I'm a bit of a nerd, make videos for each individual supplement, going into a little bit more depth about sort of the academia behind it and why I'd recommend it. So obviously the first supplement we're going to talk about is whey protein. So this is a 2.5 kilogram bag. All the prices I've done have been off the biggest price, the biggest serving, because it works out cheapest. So for a 5 kilogram bag on offer, you can get that for about 50 quid. So for 1 gram, a penny. I'd recommend a 1.5 serving for most people. Then you're going to be getting about 35 grams of protein per serving, which is realistically what we'll be wanting. Per serving is going to change a lot depending on age, gender, weight, lean mass, and again, that's something we'll go into the deeper side. But my number one supplement I'd probably say would be protein, as most people don't get enough protein in their daily life. I know a lot of my clients, we end up recommending supplementing it. Super cheap, super convenient, and it's, after creatine, probably the most studied supplement. So having it throughout the day is going to be more beneficial than just sort of saying, oh, I need this now or now. So realistically, studies have shown that positive increases in lean muscle mass, recovery rate, strength, you'd be looking for 1.2 all the way up to like 2.7 grams per kilogram of body weight. And that range again depends in if you're in a calorie surplus, calorie deficit, age, height, gender, but that's the generic thing. I'd say if you go for 1.6 grams per kilogram of body weight, you're into a right one. Now let's talk about creatine monohydrate. So as previously mentioned, creatine is the most studied supplement in the world. So if that doesn't tell you that you probably should be taking it, I don't know what does. I would recommend this for everyone and anyone. I've just recommended it and got some for my parents as well, just because of the studies saying literally everyone should take it and it will have benefits no matter what your age, or even if you aren't training. If you are training, which I assume most of you are, it's going to have increase in strength, increase in performance, power, decrease in like fatigue. So it's going to be brilliant. It also has been shown to decrease depression in a few studies as well, and increase glycogen resynthesis. Glycogen resynthesis. Yeah. It's super cheap. So you're looking at like 5 pence a serving. I recommend taking 3 grams every day. You can get creatine in your diet if you eat a very meat-dominated diet, or high red meat especially. So potentially your stores could already be saturated, but if you did supplement this and you were already saturated, or your stores were, you're just going to piss it out. So some people do recommend a loading phase. Personally, I don't recommend that to people, just because quite often that can lead to like stomach upsets. So creatine every day, 3 grams. Doesn't really matter on timing, just be very consistent with it. So ideally every morning or every evening. So next we're going to talk about vitamin C along with, let's roll it around, collagen. So I'll stack these together, as lately studies are sort of implying that vitamin C will upregulate the absorption of collagen. Collagen should, and potentially, I say all these because there's not a huge amount of research, it's a lot more anecdotal, aid with joints. Now I've had 3 knee operations, so my knees are fairly shit. I personally, anecdotally, do notice a difference, and for me it's worth it. You're looking at 23p a day for servings if you bought them together off bulk powders. So it is one of the more expensive supplements potentially, and something that I wouldn't recommend to everyone. You don't need it unless you're going to, unless you are having like joint problems, or if you've had a fracture. Acutely, collagen has been shown to increase recovery rates of sort of fractures. However, again, these studies are very early on really, and not huge backed. Anecdotally, it's a yes from me. It's probably a no for you. Caffeine. So I love caffeine. If you follow me on Instagram, you've probably seen me smash loads of coffee, loads of pre-workout, loads of monsters. Caffeine is a very researched supplement, and it can come in loads of different forms. So we've obviously got your energy drinks, tablets, and pre-workouts too. Now, depending on your price range, the caffeine tablets are going to be the cheapest, working out at like 2-3 pence for a tablet. These tablets are 200 milligrams. Most people, that will probably give you a little bit of a buzz. Caffeine has been shown to increase short-term aerobic performance, so sort of running efficiency, wakefulness, so delayed fatigue basically. However, it can also create some anxiety for some people, and make some people need a shit. I personally supplement caffeine throughout the day quite a lot, and will have some pre-workout. The limit, again, can change massively. You will have some people that are super sensitive. I personally am not super sensitive because I've had a lot of caffeine and built up my tolerance in a long time. You're looking at up to 0.6 milligrams per kilogram of body weight. So Dave, your 100-kilogram male, could take 600 milligrams. So that's the equivalent to 3 energy drinks, which is a fair bit when you think about it. At roughly 3 milligrams per kilogram of body weight, let me get that right. That's where studies have started to notice an increase in fat oxidation, which means you'll start now using fat as fuel. And that's why quite often aerobic performances can last a little longer, as you will start to use fat as fuel as well. That doesn't mean you're necessarily going to lose weight or lose body fat. You'd have to get that from a calorie deficit. However, that's something to recommend. Caffeine, I would recommend for everyone pre-workout, simply because it's studied, it will increase your performance. However, start with a small dose and slowly increase it. Side note, I forgot to mention about caffeine. If you're going to be working out late at night, probably don't take it, as the half-life is like 5 hours. Studies again have said like between 2 and 9 hours in some people. So if you're going to be working out late and you want to sleep, probably don't take some. Glucosamine sulphate. So I take this due to my shit knees. I'll take 2 tablets. Each tablet is a 1 gram serving. So I'll have 1 in the morning, 1 in the evening. That's roughly around the right serving size. Again, I wouldn't recommend this for everyone. If you do have bad joints, then yes, it has been shown to decrease the breakdown around your joints basically, and prolong arthritis. I've already been told that my knees will probably go arthritic in the future, so makes sense to try and fortify them as much as I can now. Again, not a huge amount of clinical studies, but anecdotally, this with the collagen I do find works for me. Is it needed for everyone? No. Would I recommend it if you've got shit joints? Yeah, probably. It's 10 pence a day, so 10 pence per serving, which isn't horrendous. Buy in bulk, it's always cheaper. KSM-66 Ashwaganda. I'll take this 1 tablet every day. So these tablets are 500 milligram tablets. Clinical servings have been shown from 300 milligrams to 1250, so 1,250 milligrams. So I could be getting away with taking 2 of these a day. Again, trying to be a bit cheap, I'm only taking one. They're about 14 pence a tablet, and the more I read about them, the more I recommend them to people, basically. So the main thing is sort of like decreasing stress, depression and cortisol levels. So it means that you can recover a lot quicker and a lot easier. Has been shown to have significant increases in strength and muscle mass when in a slight surplus and following a progressive resistance trained program. You should be making gains then anyway, but there was a significant increase. So that's nice to know. There has been some studies also saying that it increases cognition and memory. However, they're based on animals, so we can't really apply them to the human. So yeah, I would recommend this, and I think this is something I'd start to recommend to everyone due to the potential cognition and memory, but the decrease in cortisol levels and stress levels, depression. Not a bad little supplement, would recommend, will carry on taking. Side note, lads, it can also increase your swimmers. So if you're looking to get your missus up the duff, maybe worth a shot. Daily multivitamins. So I'd recommend this to everyone. I see it as an insurance policy. Yes, you should be getting all your daily vitamins and minerals from a well-rounded diet, eating a rainbow. However, sometimes in this day and age, we probably aren't. So a daily multivitamin is always going to be recommended. They're cheap. I think these were like 10-15p a day, so it's not bad. And some of your vitamins and minerals, or some of your vitamins, are water soluble, which means that you do need sort of like a daily or bi-daily serving of them, where fat soluble, you can keep them and store them in your body for a little bit longer. Daily vitamin, everyone should have one. Don't rely on it, but use it as an insurance policy. Worst thing, you're pissing it out. So now we're going to talk about ZMA, quite often used as a sleep aid. I personally do use it as a sleep aid. I take 2 tablets pre-bed. With these, it's not necessary. This is one of the nice extras. However, I do think sleep is quite often under-regarded and sort of left to a side. It's a great tool for recovery. ZMA is made up of zinc, magnesium, and B6. B6 can increase immunity, and the zinc and magnesium within the ZMA have potentially been shown to increase sort of sleep, or quality of sleep, so depth of sleep and duration of sleep. However, some of those studies were on animals or paired with melatonin, so the increase in the sleep quality could quite easily be due to the melatonin that was supplemented with it. It's fairly cheap. We're looking at 11 pence a day, and the clinical doses you're looking for, this is actually underdosed, the Whey Protein one, so you'd want 2 to 3 servings. You're looking at 450 milligrams of magnesium, 30 milligrams of zinc, and 10.5 milligrams of B6. They're the servings you want. Yeah, if you did take sort of 10 times the serving of this, it can be fairly dangerous. So don't be a dickhead. The more the merrier. Doesn't apply in this situation. Not needed, a nice added extra. So we're now looking at D3. Vitamin D is naturally occurring from the sun, also like eggs, fish. However, quite often people will be vitamin D deficient. Vitamin D is great for your bone health, great for immunity as well. I would personally recommend this to everyone as just a general health supplement. You're only looking at about 3 pence per serving, so there's no excuse not to be able to afford that. Realistically, you're looking for, I think, 2,000 to 4,000 IU. That's the dosage every day. So cheap, cheerful, would recommend. If you're living in the UK, it's not sunny, we're not getting a huge amount from the sun, so probably worth supplementing this. So essential omega-3 fish oils, obviously from the name, found in oily fish,
I'd recommend this for everyone really. It's got a lot of benefits for blood pressure, also some potential effects in decreasing depression. I personally take 2 tablets every day, so studies have shown anywhere from 250 milligrams up to like 4 grams a day is going to be worthwhile. So 4 grams a day is obviously mad. That would be like 10 of these. So I just have 1 in the morning, 1 in the evening, and that gives me about 600 milligrams. Pretty cheap. You're looking at 2.3 pence per tablet, so I don't know, like 6 pence a day. Would recommend it for everyone. So this is casein. So you have different types of protein. Casein is a slow digesting protein, so supplementing that pre-bed is going to be ideal, as it's slowly digestive, so therefore it's like drip feeding you amino acids throughout the night. 40 grams of casein pre-bed has been shown to be like significantly better than 20 grams pre-bed. So I personally take 2 scoops every night. It has been shown to increase performance in a Premier League team, so increase their rate of recovery. So they were tested, some were given casein, some were placebo, tested in the morning, and the rate of recovery was accelerated. Also increases overnight protein synthesis, which is what we want to be able to do to repair the muscular damage that we cause throughout our training sessions. It is a little bit more expensive than your normal whey, so you're looking at about 40p a serving. So I would recommend it. If you're your average Joe, you probably don't need this. However, if you are looking to increase rate of recovery, increase muscular gains, I would definitely recommend taking 40 grams of protein pre-bed. If you can afford a secondary protein, I'd definitely go for a casein, and again, supplement that pre-bed. All the information has either come from Examine, so that's one source, or Google Scholar. I've had to look through a number of papers as well. Again, everything can be so individualized. Everything depends if you have any underlying health issues. So if you are looking to take any of this, do your own due diligence. Supplements are something that you should use as a little add-on to a well-rounded diet. So when you have the training pyramid, you have your base layers, and then you have supplements probably at the top. At the bottom, you're going to be having a well-rounded diet with the correct calories, be it if you're in a deficit or a surplus for your training goals. Then we'd want a nice macronutrient breakdown, your fats, carbs, proteins, again, depending on your goals. Then we'd also be looking at hydration, and we'd be looking at recovery, so mainly sleep. Then from there, that's when I'd start to look to put in some of these supplements. These are added extras. None of these are gonna make you He-Man overnight. None of these are the secret tips or the secret hacks. These are the things that I'll do daily and have done for a while.